Hi, I hope you're all well. So I'm just coming to show you a really nice heart opening position that we use in our yoga practice. And this is really nice because most of the day I'm stuck at my computer, or obviously we might be on our phones. So it's very unusual for us to have a position where we open the chest, open the neck, and sort of really relax and stretch open the front line of the body. So in a yoga practice, we refer to this as like a heart opening posture. So I would use blocks in class to do this, and of course in my classes I always tell everyone to bring along blankets and cushions, because I know how I love being so supported in postures, and it does make such a difference to be able to lay back or lay in a position, get comfortable and actually relax into it. So what I've done here is that I've got 2 blankets rolled up, and again you can play around with making this bolster as big or as small as you like, depending on the type of stretch and open that you want. So when I'm on my mat, what I like to do is I become seated and I ensure that the bolster is at the base of my spine. And then what I do is I slowly release myself back, vertebrae by vertebrae, onto the bolster. Slowly, mindfully and carefully. Now, this bolster is quite long, so it is actually supporting my head, which in a yin practice is really nice because of the fact that we're going to hold this posture for 3 to 5 minutes, possibly longer in some classes. I then take my arms out wide to the side. Now again, it depends on you where you feel comfortable with this heart opener, this chest stretch, because depending on where you take your arms, you're going to find the stretch will start to open in different areas. So if I'm mindful and if I take my hands overhead and back into like a cactus shaped arms, again, this bolster is quite high, so the elbows don't touch the floor. However, if I take my arms out to the side, it's not so deep a stretch. So again, you can choose where to have your arms, whether they're out wide or whether they're close to the body, or whether you choose to play around with this when you first settle into it. To just notice where it takes the stretch. And as I've reached my arms overhead, I've actually found a more deeper back bend as well with this, and just felt a nice little click on the lower base of my spine, which was quite nice. Now, another thing I draw attention to is our feet. So you could have your soles of your feet directly to the floor. You may find it a little bit nicer to take your feet wide, a little bit as wide as the mat, and the knees come in together. And all of these little micro movements and adjustments that we make before coming into this posture, even a little bit of a dip of the chin here to lengthen the spine and lengthen the neck, before I truly just settle into this pose and let gravity do its work. We focus on our breath, the inhales and the exhales, the rise and fall of our belly, our ribs and our chest. And it always takes a few moments just for us to connect with our breath, to connect with the posture, make any little subtle adjustments and movements that we need to find where we truly are relaxed and comfortable, to allow this posture to take over and do its work really. And again, you may choose to, as an alternative to having the soles of the feet together and the knees together, you may choose, if you have blocks as well, to have the soles of the feet together and have blocks just under the knees to support the knees, because again, this will have an opening on the hip flexors, the hip area, and therefore as gravity takes hold as we hold these postures, the knees can lower slowly and it can then lengthen the hip area, the hip flexor area. But to start off with, it may just be a little bit too much, and you may need, as I said, if you haven't got blocks at home, you can put cushions. This is great while you have lots of props around, to put cushions under your knees. And again, an alternative to this could be having your legs long. Just noticing what's right for you. So with legs long, you may just choose to have the forearms by the side of the body. Again, gravity will be doing its work. The hips become heavy, the legs become heavy. It's a gentle back bend with a heart opener. You can very subtly feel this. And to come out of any of these positions, it's always best to take your time, and if you've had your hands over your head or your hands beside your body, you can just bring them back to the side. Make sure you bring the soles of the feet together. Just lift the hips and take one hip to one side, and very slowly take your time to roll off the bolster, supporting yourself with your arms and return into a seated position. So again, lots of different options there for you to find the right posture. It's not just about going into laying back, just adjusting, making those adjustments, being mindful of your body, mindful of the breath, and making sure that when you go into any postures that you ensure there's no sharp shooting pains. You might feel a little bit of uncomfortableness to start off with. That's not unusual, because we hold ourselves in patterns that we when we start to open, it can become a tense sensation, and it's not unusual to find that needs to release first before it then starts to open a little bit more. But it should not be a sharp shooting pain. If it's a sharp shooting pain, just back off and come back into it. Okay, so hope you like that one. Give it a go and give me your feedback, let us know. And obviously, if you'd like to join me for a yoga class with ATP, you can join me on a Tuesday morning from 9 till 10 and on a Saturday morning from 9:30 till 10:30. So have a lovely day.